If you boost in Final Fantasy XIV, you're part of the problem. That's basically the message that's going around the community right now. Let me do a quick one-sentence summary for people who don't know. Boosting is essentially when you buy your way to skip through the story or skip through the leveling process for a class, or job in this case for Final Fantasy XIV. Now, I'm not too heavily invested in all the MMOs and the MMO industry as a whole, but I'm pretty sure there's a large number of MMOs that do this form of thing where you can pay for boost. And Final Fantasy is one of those games that has this boosting. Thus, when you boost, you miss out on the amazing story of 14 and arguably, the super fun and amazing process of leveling a class from 1 to 80. It's amazing. It's so fun. I love it. So what am I trying to say here? If you boost in 14, you're going to jail. Nah, you're not going to jail. Of course not. Unless... Maximum or Max is a WoW streamer who wants to play 14 for the endgame raids. Max made a twit longer, but not really about his reasons as to why he wants to play the game, but more about the gatekeeping in Final Fantasy XIV. A big thing to note here is that Max does not care about the story of 14 at all, and that's perfectly fine to say that. In fact, he doesn't care for the story of WoW either. He talked about here how he pretty much killed a boss or something, and had no idea why he was doing it or what it was about. He's only here for one thing, and that's just endgame PvE. So endgame rating, baby, let's go! I'm sorry, I get excited over rating too. So Max is free to go ahead and boost and do whatever the hell he wants with the game. In fact, anyone can boost. Anyone at all. Your grandma, and even our favorite WoW player, Quinn. Real quick, everyone's free to have whatever opinions they want about the game. Everyone's free to do whatever they want. Boost, RP, ERP, everything. The reason why we're okay with Max is because he's not going to take a shot at the story because he hasn't played it. So that's cool. He's only here for the gameplay. He'll only talk about the gameplay, and that's fair to do so. Now, Quinn, from all the clips we've gathered and all the clips I've seen of him, he already didn't look like he was giving the game a good shot. He didn't really like the game, and he proceeded to shit on the game anyways. And like I said, everyone can have an opinion about anything they want. He just had a shitty opinion, and I'm free to have an opinion about his opinion. If Quinn was to say, you know, he didn't like 14 and just took his leave quietly, then that would have been fine. But he had to basically shit on the game for very unfair opinions and say, you know, the story of the game sucked when he hasn't even experienced Shadowbringers, which is so amazing. You know, Quinn, I swear, I'm about to roll up at my kangaroo and slap you, man. Oh my god, I swear, mate. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I don't even own a kangaroo. So that's basically why we're okay with Max doing this versus Quinn, which we all kind of, you know, just shatted on him. However, here is one more thing that's probably gonna hurt your guys' head a lot more, and please, please, be better than this person. I'm not gonna show their name. I'm just gonna show what they said on Twitter, and you know, we'll just go ahead and read what they said. This is this person's thoughts on boosting, and basically their reply to Max and his tweets. People shouldn't do it. The story is put there for a reason, but at the same time, everyone else who's playing the game has suffered through it all. You don't get to come in here, boost, only do the endgame stuff, and then act like you're better than everyone else. Okay, let's break this tweet down just a little bit real quick. Because people shouldn't do it. First off, anyone's allowed to do whatever they want. Like I said, you can have an opinion about anything, just be, you know, don't be surprised when people, you know, counter your opinion and talk shit about you. And people can do whatever the hell they want with their money. If they want to boost, they can. That's a system in the game. You're allowed to boost. The game allows you to do that. Square Enix was like, hey, if you want to, you know, skip the game and throw us a couple dollars, do it. Well, it's not a couple of dollars, it's like close to $20, but whatever. The story is there for a reason, and the rest of us suffered through it. You could have chose to boost if you wanted to. We, as in, you know, most of us who play through the story, decided to play through the story to experience it because we wanted to. If Max and whoever doesn't want to play through the story, perfect, they can do that. They can buy a boost and just go ahead and do that. Now, of course, they're gonna miss out on the story, but they made that choice and they acknowledge it and they don't care. And also, another thing Max has also noted, New Game Plus exists for a reason. So if some crazy reason, somebody who skips through the game wants to go back and experience the story, they're allowed to do that. And this last point I just want to say real quick. You don't get to come in here, boost, only do the in-game stuff, and then act like you're better than everyone else. First off, Max never claimed to be better than anybody. Max never said he wanted to do this to prove a point. Max just wants to come in to have fun. I know, it's crazy. WoW players want to play 14 for fun. He never made this huge statement about how he wants to show off to the world that WoW players are better than 14 players, or the WoW mechanics are harder than 14's. Let's just leave it at that. He just wants to play the game for fun. It's just, I don't understand. Ah, my head's hurting. Now, the same person who made this tweet had a few other tweets to say, but there's one more I want to share before I just kind of like end that saga there. If he takes the expressway to endgame, then only clear the raids without doing any of the story, or the quest, or the game before the raids, he's nowhere better than anyone. He's worse. He's only wanting instant gratification. Trash. I'm gonna let you guys on a little secret right now. I played through all of 14, you know, all the way through Shadowbringers as a black mage. You know, I got to level 80. I had no idea what Umbral Soul did. This is a skill you get at level 76. It's really hard to kind of explain it, but basically, I didn't use a skill at all. You can even ask my stream viewers, and if you are a stream viewer, comment and be like, yes, Ko is an idiot. I didn't use a skill at all. I had no idea what it did. This game doesn't do a great job of teaching players how to play the game. The game is great. I love 14. But it does not hold your hand at any point trying to teach you, hey, this skill does this, hey, that skill does that, hey, here's a little tutorial on how to use a skill properly. They kind of just throw a skill at you, expect you to read the tooltips, and that's it. And I'll admit, I'm being a little bit lazy, I didn't read the tooltip, so yeah, that's on me, I'll admit that. It wasn't until I sat down and watched a guide, by the way, shout out to the West Albert, to finally get it in my brain what Umbral Soul did and how to properly use it. Which, by the way, super easy skill to use. Use it. If you don't use it, you're just as dumb as I was before. And here's another example. My sister just started playing the game recently as a tank, and she had no idea that Arm's Length, a skill that's used to prevent knockbacks, also applies slows to enemies' attacks. The game does not do a good job of telling you this. Also, a lot of other players did not know this at all. And if you didn't know that until just now, please, hit me with a subscribe. It's free, you know, give me a like on the video. You're welcome. So, to say that, you know, if you don't play through the story and quest, you don't become a better player, that's wrong. It's more on the player to go out of their way to learn how to get better, you know. You could sit down and read the tooltips, but unless you can come up with the best optimal rotation for your class, it's gonna be kind of hard, so you might want to seek out resources for that. So to all the players that are just like this guy, the tragic truth is that this game, you don't need the story to be a good player. In fact, you could even just buy a boost, watch a guide on how to play your rotations at 80, and that's all you need. So one last thing, and this is just to everybody out there in the world, and it doesn't have to be 14 related to boosting or whatever the hell you want to do 14, this is life advice in general. Do whatever the hell you want to do, and don't care what people are saying. As long as you're not harming anybody, I think that's pretty much the general cool thing that I'm okay with, that's fine. People who are saying this dumb stuff to you, like this guy here, block them, who cares, move on. Don't be afraid to boost, don't be afraid to do endgame raids, don't be afraid to do ERP, do whatever the hell you want to do in this game, and that's all I ask of you. You are a strong person, don't let these small opinions get to you. And if they do get to you, hit me up, I can actually fight back. I will fight these people. I got big, strong muscles. They'll be scared of me, I swear. To Max, thank you for talking about this. Thank you for bringing attention to this. People need to know that the whole entire 14 community does not act like these kind of people, and please don't let that deter you from playing the game. We are way better than this, and if you think a lot like this guy in this tweet here, I implore you to please try and just open your mind and just realize that people can do whatever the hell they want. As long as they're not affecting you and hurting other people, it shouldn't matter too much. And, you know, one last thing I want to say, people might ask me is like, you know, Ko, would you ever boost yourself? Would you actually ever do that? And I want to quickly say that, I'm a broke bitch, so no.